When the community needed a bit of a transformation, this group came up with an action plan and have created a place that they're all proud of. Representing Invercargill City in the Southland district, please welcome to the stage the South Invercargill Urban Rejuvenation Charitable Trust, otherwise known as South Alive.
Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca Amundsen, the Deputy Mayor of the Invercargill City Council. The Invercargill City Council has tried many times over the years to rejuvenate the south part of Invercargill and failed, until we met these guys.
I'm Gary Tong, the proud Mayor of Southland. Volunteers are the lifeblood of South Alive. Success is not the work of one, but the work of many, and I'm proud to introduce the South Alive story.
South Alive is an urban rejuvenation charity in South Invercargill.
Everything that we do is community-led and focuses on our core vision, which is to build a vibrant and diverse community that takes a lead in its own future, and to use our strengths and assets as a community to create a place to live, work and play that we feel proud of and can be inspired by. We work collaboratively within our own volunteer teams, as well as within the community and other organisations, with the rejuvenation of South Invercargill being at the heart of everything that we do. We have different teams at South Alive that work on projects that were identified at our very first meeting. It all kicked off with Zero Rubbish, which is a program where people adopt streets which they keep tidy. We started by cleaning up a section of 40 tonnes of rubbish, which is now our community gardens and community park. Once or twice a year we do community cleanups around South Invercargill and encourage people to adopt more streets as well. This is part of the beautification team, which also manages the community garden, hanging baskets and plant bank. We have the housing team, which works to keep our housing stock up in the area and runs agency speed dating, electric blanket testing, landlord of the year and random recognition contests. Together, these two teams run an annual spring flower show, and this year we had our second version of this. We also have a fruit and nut team, which has successfully planted and now maintains more than 70 fruit and nut trees and berry bushes in local parks and schools, and runs different workshops such as apple tree grafting. We have an arts team that run our local community art gallery, with a really great exhibition now of photos taken by local youth displaying areas in their community they see as opportunities. Some other teams have existed over the years as well, such as the Dog Park Group, which managed to get Invercargill's only dog park established. And along the way, we have moved to more project-based volunteer teams for things such as the night food market, which is now run for 2 years. Our volunteers have established little libraries in our community, and also the annual Trolley Derby and Children's Day event has now run for 3 years and is a firm community favourite.
Tēnā koutou katoa. I'm Robin Hickman, Chairperson of the South Alive Trust, formed in December 2012, and I'm representing our more than 300 regular volunteers. South Invercargill, a very low socio-economic area, in its former life was a rundown neighbourhood that was the butt of local jokes and its residents felt neglected. They were wanting improvements and they were waiting for them to be implemented by someone else. But it turned out that we were actually the ones we were waiting for. We initially concentrated on strengthening our community by improving its physical infrastructure and developing community events. This had a very strong effect on how our residents felt about South Invercargill as a place to live, work and play, with their satisfaction level rising from an extremely low 35% to 82.5% in 2 years. We'd gone from drab to fab, all through volunteers with mostly only one paid part-time manager. Peter Kenyon said that in more than 30 years as a facilitator in 58 countries, he had never encountered a more successful community transformation than South Invercargill, saying it is the best community-led group in the globe. Having enhanced community wellbeing, we are now assisting our residents to improve their own individual, social, emotional and physical wellbeing, while role modelling self-help and sustainability ourselves through the establishment of our social enterprise business, The Pantry, and our community hub, The Pod. Our Deputy Chairperson, Margaret Cook, will now share some insights from a few of our many volunteers.
As Robin said, I'm going to focus not on what volunteers do for our organisation, but what they're doing for us does for them, because that's equally important. Jess attended our first public meeting in 2012. She got excited about the aspirations being articulated and signed up. She is a loyal member of the Fruit and Nut Action Group. She also volunteers for the annual street party, the spring flower show, the zero rubbish scheme, and anything else where volunteers are called for. The impact on her life, she says, has been the opportunity to make great friends and meet lots of others while volunteering, particularly the neighbours around the fruit trees. Elizabeth is a migrant, a shy person. She became a volunteer at our night food markets. She was then invited to be part of discussions about refugees soon to come to Invercargill, particularly Colombians. At her first meeting, she said very little, more at the second, and I'm told she practically ran the third one. The gifts she has to offer, her Colombian background. She is now teaching Spanish classes for South Alive and assisting schools to prepare for the influx of migrant children. She says, with the support of South Alive, she has the opportunity to really immerse herself in the local community. Adam joined South Alive in his last year at high school. He helped with the cleaning up of Kingswell Creek and the painting of playground equipment there. He assisted in developing our outdoor gym as well as tree planting. He says that South Alive has given him and the South City community something that money cannot buy: strength, pride, and a sense of belonging. Wendy left school to a sheltered workshop. She was married at 20, a stay-at-home mum for 32 years, a widow at 50. She was needing to get out of her four walls but had no qualifications. She now volunteers at our social enterprise, The Pantry, usually 4 mornings a week, and Wendy loves it. It has given her an introduction back into the community. She has learned a lot of new things, and she's now applying the health and safety training from the shop to her own household. Wendy feels valued, and the manager calls her an absolute gem. These words of these 4 volunteers typify the immeasurable impacts which are very precious tonga within our community.
Mā whero, mā panga, ka oti i te mahi. With red and black, the work will be complete. This whakatauki refers to cooperation, and it was a powerful appeal in calling for volunteers and extolling the virtues of cooperative effort. We thank our South Alive volunteers for their superb cooperative effort that has totally transformed our whole community of 18,000 people in a very short time. Kia ora koutou.